Good morning, friends. It is Friday, August 5th, and it occurred to me a couple days ago I have not yet done an August garden, garden video. So I'm out here super early. It's about 7:15, and I thought I would show you my hot mess. A few days ago, actually I think it was one day last week, I came out to my circle garden and planted some zucchini. I'll show you that. It is up. I'm so excited. I have morning glories blooming, zinnias blooming, lots and lots of weeds. And yesterday I set up my very first green stalk. I have it up on the porch, encircled with some fencing to keep the squirrels out. It looks like a monstrosity right now. I'll show you. And but we battle the squirrels so bad. They eat the fruit off the fruit trees. They dig in the flower beds. They dig in flower pots, and I just don't know what to do about them. We catch them in live traps, and then we haul them off, unless it's squirrel season. And then the neighbor likes to eat squirrel. Our boys, well, I say boys, our son and son-in-law like squirrel. My goodness, they are just everywhere. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you the baby zucchini plants, the morning glories, a few other things, show you the green stalk, and then we'll head down to the vegetable garden, which is, well, coming along quite nicely in some places. So, all right, I'm going to turn the camera around and let you see the zucchini. Okay, so I have the zucchini covered with this little trash can from Dollar Tree. It makes a wonderful plant covering. There's my little zucchini, and the trash can does help with keeping varmints out, as well as the cat and the dog from laying on them. This, I don't even know. I think it's called Rebecca. I planted it. I mean, thankfully it is this big, but not doing much else, so I'm still waiting to see what it's going to look like. I have my potato. Oh my goodness, I gotta get on the other side because the sun is coming up. All right, so I have this is in this black tub. Those are just some red potatoes that were sprouting in my pantry. So I thought I would just throw them in and get them planted. And then I have sweet potatoes in my grow bags. First time ever using grow bags, and I want to see how they do. The plants look quite nice. Our neighbor Cody going by, and I have some chives and some thyme. They're doing wonderful. And oh, I wanted to show you the morning glory. Let me hop up in here. Okay, now morning glory's on the other side, of course, but turn him around. There we go. Our first morning glory bloom. Lovely. Okay, I have some zinnias here that the heat has really beat up, just because that tub doesn't have a bottom, and so it drains out so fast. And if I don't water them almost every day, they just really wilt away. And it was full. It was completely full of zinnias, and about half of them have died. It's just so hot this summer and having some drainage issues. I had this full of zinnias, and you can see a hole in the bottom. I emptied those out and put them someplace else, and they still died. It was draining too fast. Here's some zinnias I planted from seed. This one is just the most beautiful red color. So that is my Circle Drive flower bed. It is a hot, hot mess. Lots of redbud trees coming up, lots of periwinkle. There's even prickly pear cactus in there that I hate. I just remember as a child falling on the prickly pear, and my mom having to sit there with tweezers and pull out the little prickles. So every chance I get, I dig it up, and I actually give it to my friend Brandy, because her tortoises eat prickly pear. And so it's not going to waste, but it's also not in my garden. All right, I'm going to go take you up and show you the flower beds that are on the around the deck or the front porch. What do you call it? To me, if it's up in the air, it's a deck. If it's like a patio on the ground, it's a porch. But I don't know. That's just me. All right. Have some zinnias that are going to start blooming up here. And I want to show you, I came in last week and I planted beets in these empty spots. And look, there are some beets coming up. I'm so excited. I might as well use those empty spots for something. More zinnias. I came in here with some zinnia seeds I had saved from last year, and I just scattered them. And I love how they're just coming up in random places and starting to bloom. Planted beets over here too. I'm not sure they're up on this side yet. More zinnias. I need to deadhead my hostas. Mushrooms that are not edible, but I'm going to take that as a good sign that my soil right here is in good shape if I'm growing mushrooms. All right, let's go up the stairs on the porch. My beautiful welcome sign that my sweet Kelsey bought for me. House plants. Some of those will come in for winter, and a couple of them will go to my classroom. Some marigolds. Come on over to this side. My mint pot. I don't even know what those are. I think they might be a weed. I'm waiting to see. Some basil and some pink celery. My beautiful geraniums that Mama bought me. Chicks. Chicks. These are supposed to be ground cherries, but they look a lot like whatever this is over in this other planter that might be a weed. So I don't know. We'll see. And the green stalk. Okay. So, I have recommended the green stalk to a few people who have asked me about container gardening. And I got to thinking, you know, I really need to use one before I recommend it to anybody. They had a 4th of July sale, so I was able to buy one, get one for 60% off. And I set it up yesterday with some kale and spinach and some different lettuces for fall. And I do have it covered with a piece of cardboard, in part to keep the squirrels out, but also it was really hot yesterday and supposed to be up in the 90s again today. And so I'm just trying to keep it from completely drying out before my seeds germinate. So I'm excited. I did only set up one yesterday. I do have another one. But I'm excited. I want to see how this does. It is a pricey piece of garden equipment, and I'm hoping it'll be worth the money. So, like I said, we'll see. All right. So let's go back to, or let me show you my view. This is the view from my front porch. We live in one of the most beautiful places possible in Morgan County. Just look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now normally there are cows over there, but they start their mornings over here by the fence, and then by this time of day they have already moved into the trees over on the far side, getting out of the sun. And there's a pond back in there and a creek back in there. And so later this evening they'll be back over here close to the fence. Way over there is a farm with goats and sheep and cows. Beyond the trees on this way, there's donkeys and miniature horses. A few of our neighbors have peacocks, and we can hear all of that. Of course, not right now, especially in the late afternoon when it's feeding time or early evening feeding time. I love it. All right, let's go see the vegetable garden. Ooh, my camera is kind of wobbly. Sorry about that. So I am not going to go through every plant and tell you what everything is. I've done that a couple times. You probably don't want to hear that again, but I do want to show you a few specific things that I just find really exciting about my garden. These yellow tomatoes, I'm so excited. Scott loves yellow tomatoes, and we've probably gotten 4 or 5 off of there already. Our surprise tomato, we don't know what this is. It's a plant Scott brought home from work. We've gotten several tomatoes off of that. I love having the zinnias in the garden. Last year I really wasn't crazy about the white zinnias, but this year they have done so much better. These were seeds I saved, and they're just beautiful. Oh no, my pepper plant fell over. It's getting so big and heavy. Goodness sakes, look at that. I don't know if I can stand it back up. Nope. I'll have to get a stake out here and stand it back up. But that is a sweet banana pepper. And I'm going to wade through the sweet potato vines. And there's my little chamomile buds. I'm actually letting it go to seed because I want it to reseed itself. Here's another, I'm going to turn the camera. Here's a view of the tomatoes. I'm going to turn the camera back around. These are all of my tomatoes. Now, I want to show you something very special. Got to get in here close. Okay, see if I can get her on camera. She's kind of hard to see. There she is. Do you see her? Okay, I absolutely despise spiders. I am what you would call arachnophobic. I hate spiders. But I love when there is a garden spider in my garden because that means I have a healthy garden. And she is doing great things. I always say, I'll tell my mom, I have a Charlotte in my garden from Charlotte's Web. Last year, I had 6 of those beauties in this garden. All right, there is one tomato. I'm kind of going around the Charlotte to show you. So I planted Opalka tomatoes from seed. Did not think they were going to do anything. They have struggled so much this summer, but I discovered this yesterday. Look at how big that tomato is. Now it is an odd shaped tomato. Here's another little one up here. They are paste tomatoes, so they are really meant for making sauces. They're fleshy, they're not seedy, not a lot of that seed goo in there. There's my celery, one of them. I have 4 big bunches like that. This one is supposed to be a San Marzano tomato, but that is not the shape of a San Marzano, so I'm not even sure what that is. This one is a San Marzano, but I'm having some trouble with the tomatoes rotting. So a San Marzano is like shaped like a Roma. It's a paste tomato also, so it's for making sauces. My sunflower, I think it's done. It's pretty sad. The okra is almost as tall as I am, and we have not yet got any okra. So hopefully soon there will be some okra babies in there. Lots of Japanese beetles, gross things. All right, in here, I'll show you this one. Oh, right here, that is a baby broccoli. I came in here, I cut down all of this basil, and I put in broccoli. Here's another little broccoli. And the basil came back up. So I am actually going to leave it for now because it's giving the broccoli some shade. When the broccoli gets a little bit bigger, I'm going to start cutting the basil down again so that it'll have room to grow. More peppers. These peppers are, I don't know, they're stunted. They should be as tall as those at the end that are falling over, and I can't figure out why they're not. The carrots I'm going to be pulling out probably today or tomorrow, getting those cleaned up and in the fridge, and I'm trying to decide whether or not to actually plant another row of carrots. I'm probably going to, there's another truck coming by. I'm probably going to fill every spot possible with more green beans. I have yet to harvest any green beans this year. Those are green beans that are on the trellis. They just started blooming last week, and I don't know why I don't have green beans yet. The bush beans, probably half of them have died, and I know they got sunburnt and scorched, so I need to replace those. That's a good healthy patch of green beans down there. They also started blooming about last week, and so I think I'm just going to fill every vacant spot in my garden with green beans. There's another sunflower that is done. They were so pretty. I do want to show you, all of my cucumbers have died. And so last week, the same day I planted that little zucchini and the broccoli, I came in and I planted some more cucumbers. So these are doing quite nicely. There's a volunteer tomato on the other side. Now my noodle beans, I'll take you inside the tunnel and show you those. The noodle beans, there's a few red ones left. I've picked a lot of those. The green ones are just now finally starting to do something. And oh, I can't wait to show you the baby squash. Under those sheets over there, I have some baby sugar snap peas. I'm trying to keep them shaded so the hot sun doesn't scorch them and kill them. Oh, there's a little frog. Oh, I missed it. Okay. All right. Here is another trellis of pole beans. They're really struggling, but I wanted to succession sow my beans. So this is the first set of beans I planted, and then probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks later, I planted this set of pole beans. They're the same kind, but I wanted them coming on at different times, so I wouldn't be knee-deep in beans, canning all of them at once. On this side, this is another succession of pole beans. Okay, then we get into the noodle beans, and let's see. There we go. That's a red noodle bean. Let me get around here because of the sun or the lighting. Here's a red noodle bean. These are yard-long beans. They can get quite long. Here's some. And they don't taste like a regular green bean. They're not great for canning, but they are good for like stir fry. Oh, here's some green ones. So it's fun walking through the tunnel and you have all these beans hanging down. That's really why I planted them, just for the fun. All right. Oh, the honey nuts. That's what I want to show you next. Okay. I'm going to walk through. I have a short tunnel, so I have to bend over and walk through the short tunnel. All right. Now, I'll show you on, so this set of beans here on this trellis, those are pinto beans, and my plan for those is to not pick them, but to let them dry on the vine and have shell out beans, and then I could make, you know, ham and beans. That's what these are too, more pinto beans, and here are my honey nut squash. Now, look at this sweet little baby. Here's another one. Absolutely loaded with blooms. I'm excited for these. Especially, oh, here's one. Look at that. So these are supposed to be a smaller, sweeter version of, oh, there's a dead cucumber. Let's pull that off. A smaller, sweeter version of a butternut. And so Scott and I do like butternuts, but one butternut squash is really more than we can handle at one setting. So I'm excited for these honey nuts. Maybe one per meal will be good. So I don't know, we'll see. Um, the watermelons are kind of sad. I'll give you a scan of the watermelons. There are a grassy, weedy mess. But I'm going to take you down there and I'm going to show you. I have a few on the vine. I was really hoping for a bumper crop of watermelon, but maybe I should have taken better care of them and not let them get so weedy. This one is a Geet Okasama or Okasawa. It's a Japanese pumpkin, and it's supposed to be like, I don't know, 18 to 20 inches long and a lot bigger than that. So I'm not sure it's going to get there. On this pumpkin plant, we have what's supposed to be a Cinderella pumpkin, but I'm telling you, that's not what a Cinderella pumpkin looks like. So I'm not sure what it is. Over here, I have Sugar Babies, which is a pie pumpkin. And honestly, there's a little one. There's a bigger one in here somewhere. And they actually do look like they're supposed to. Oh, there it is. Way down in the grass. Whoops. Get the leaves out of the way. There we go. And so, like I said, hoping for a bumper crop, but I guess I'll be happy with what I get out of here. And I'll try to do better next time. But I'll give you... This is actually the north side of the garden. Ooh, it's getting hot out here already. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around so I can talk to you. Okay, whew, goodness, I'm starting to sweat and get yucky. All right, so I would like to ask you to please subscribe to my channel, Halfway Homestead, and hit that like button on YouTube, share my videos, and keep coming back for more. I want to show you these zinnias real quick. I hope to be able to share maybe a big green bean harvest with you. I've posted some pictures on Facebook of smaller harvests that I've gotten, and I'm thankful for everything I have pulled out of this garden. So thankful. So I'm going to turn the camera back around. I'm going to show you the zinnias, and then I'm going to get planting on those green beans. See if I can stick some in those empty spots and get a full harvest. All right, you guys have a beautiful day, and happy gardening. Hey guys, so I am down in the peach orchard, which consists of 2 whole trees. We have 2 peach trees, a couple cherry trees that are just baby sprouts, and a nectarine tree that's up behind the barn. And I mentioned earlier in this video that we don't get very many peaches because of the squirrels. And driving by earlier today, we noticed that there were some ripe peaches. So I'm down here, we're going to pick a few and see how they are. I've already grabbed one. Sadly, it has a buggy spot, but maybe we can salvage the other half of this one, and we'll just see how it goes. There are lots and lots of peach pits on the ground, so we know the squirrels have been here, and possibly the deer. A lot of times we'll find pits hanging from the tree because whatever critter's eating them, it's just eating them right off the tree. So I'm going to get to picking, and then I will show you what I end up with.